time for the market to digest what has been said, and you'll notice that there could still be a little bit of volatility. So in regards to the yen pairs, what I'll focus on now is this pound news. So we discussed this yesterday. Jin in particular mentioned at 7 o'clock tonight, GMT +8 time zone, we've got the Bank of England QE totals. And what we're looking for is 875 billion is the forecast. If that comes in a little bit less, then that could be quite bullish for the pound. And anything in regards to what Kim Hong mentioned just before with any hawkish tones, and there's also an article I'll share from Forex Trading Asia that was put out by Kim Hong. This talks about anything hawkish out of the Bank of England. But again, it's not looking likely, but I'll go down to the charts here and we'll just go into the first trade idea. And it is a yen pair. So we'll start off with the pound yen just to go with. So we are seeing it is resting against support at 14939. And what I'll do, I'll just zoom in a little. So as you can see, price is consolidated here. We have seen a little bit of choppy price action. You tend to see that on the pound yen as well. Now, this is the 4-hour time frame. And it's actually, ideally, if we could just sort of hold this level, and if we do get some hawkish or even slightly hawkish news, given the fact that the yen is quite neutral right now. Now, obviously the yen is a bit of a safe haven currency, but it looks like Kim Hong also mentioned about the Swiss, and the yen just doesn't seem really to be as the go-to other than the US dollar. The US dollar is really seeing that inflow when the safe haven situation is on. And frankly, right now, we're going to have to wait and see what happens with the US Open, which is 8 p.m. For FX markets tonight, GMT +8, just to see what we get here. So for a trade idea, we are about 40 pips or so off that support level. You know what? Even if we get a slight pullback, would be fine. But hypothetically, if we enter here, if the price maintains here, let's say to keep the math simple, an entry at 149.70, we've got a 40 pip stop loss, which would put us down to pretty much just above the support level. And then we've got a lot of room in the upside. Even 80 pips is very doable. Again, though, it's dependent on that news event. And it's, you know, the point to note is 7 o'clock tonight, GMT +8, but it's a 1 to 2 risk to reward ratio is, you know, very possible. So we've got a 40 pip stop loss, 80 pip take profit on the pound yen is something that is definitely worth paying attention to. And again, guys, if you are in the LCMS Traders Club, in the lead up to these things, if anything is seen that's promising from a trade perspective, it will be shared in the chat as well. So make sure you are around, you've got your notifications on as well, because we'll be sharing anything that we do see. All right, so we'll go now to the USD yen. And as you can see, on the 4-hour, we're not looking as promising from a perspective. So if you're saying, what do you mean, Scott? I'll share this link as well. You've got to be aware of the 5-step checklist as well that we use at LCMS Traders. So, but just looking at this, it's very range bound. So it's a tough situation for the USD yen. And I'll just put it simply, this is not as a great opportunity as the pound yen. As simply put, if you are a beginner trader, that's just the best way I can put it without going into too many details about why, but not really a great opportunity. So honestly, I'd say leave the USD yen. I mean, if you follow the USD yen closely, you can trade it, but I just see it's quite conflicted. And the reason why I say that is if we go back to the US dollar. Now, if we had a very hawkish set of comments from Jerome Powell about, you know, we've got a real big situation, we've got to taper ASAP, and we punched through 93.70 odd, which is a significant resistance level, then I'm like, you know what, USD is strong, but it's a bit conflicted, and it looks like we might even see it calm down a little. So an immediate trade idea for tonight would be that pound yen. Now, let's go to the euro yen, and then we'll head to gold. All right, so again, guys, no trade on the USD yen is how I'm looking at it. Now, euro yen is similar than the pound yen, although the main catalyst for tonight is the pound news. So the euro yen might be a little more subdued, and Jin talked about the fact that the euro potentially could be a little weaker, but that was against the pound. So again, with the yen on holidays, it just means that it's sensitive to any potential good news for the euro. So I want to go back to the calendar here, and we'll quickly just touch base on the euro news. So for today, now this is GMT plus 8 time. We do have some manufacturing PMI data out, service PMI. So there is stuff that is there, but again, you've just got to be mindful. So if something's called out, you've got to be really there to take the trade, because if it moves 10 pips or so and you're chasing the entry, that's not advantageous, because you've already, it could move 25 pips or so. You're already 40% of the trades happen. So you've got to be aware of that. But I'll go back to the chart, and just to reiterate the euro yen as a trade idea. So again, if we can see this hold up here, now I'll just get the crosshairs and let's just work this out. So honestly, we've got around 60 pips to that resistance level at 12913, but it's a 1-to-1. So if it can come back down a little bit during today's session before that news at 4 o'clock in the afternoon GMT plus 8, then even if we get down to the lower 128s, maybe 128.30 or so, and then you've got a little bit more room there. You've got 90 pips to the upside, 30 pips on the downside. So for the euro yen, if we can see a little bit of a pullback that we've seen earlier, then an entry at around the 128.30s, 30 pips stop loss at that support level, and then a 60 pip take profits fair. I mean, we haven't really seen big moves over 60 pips recently as well. So that's why I say, if you've got a 60 pip winner, and Jin mentioned this yesterday, take some profit, or if the whole thing, because it's just challenging market conditions, that's all. All right, so we'll go to gold now. And this has been interesting and frankly, a little stubborn as well. So I do know there's quite a lot of people that like trading gold. I don't trade gold, but our observations are more longer term positioning for gold. So that's what we're referring to here. So let's say you saw the bounce, you're in the long, your risk shouldn't be a lot. And if it is, frankly, I would say, look, take it off, because there's a lot of jitters and uncertainty going on, and we haven't seen gold behave as it would normally. But let's say we see some settling down and we see gold pop back over 1,777 support. But what I want to see is a candle closing near the high on the daily, such as a candle like this that we saw in August. That was the 23rd of August. But again, it really just seems to need a breakout properly, and the catalysts aren't quite there right now. So I would say we haven't really seen panic in equities. So I would say leave gold for now. If you're already in gold and you've been in for a while, leave it be. But we just need to see a little bit more market selling off in equities to really cause that high degree of uncertainty. So for now, unless gold can really make a push higher above 1,777, no trade there. But those are my thoughts, guys, on the yen pairs and also on gold as well. So up next, guys, we have Daniel, the senior trading coach at LCMS Traders, and he'll just be going through what happened last night in the live trading call, which is available to all members of the LCMS Traders Club.